right, I thought President Trump really was so good in that CNN town hall thing, and it was so much fun to watch that I just feel like, I don't know, talking about it again. So let's play some sound from my favorite, absolute, total favorite thing that Mr. Trump said. Here it comes.
If elected president again, what is the first thing you would do to help bring down the cost to make things more affordable?
Drill, baby, drill. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any other nation. And these stupid fools ended it. We created the greatest economy in history. A big part of that economy was got you the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country, bigger than the Reagan cuts, bigger than any. And also, Caitlin, as you know, we got the biggest regulation and regulatory cuts. This place was rocking.
Boy, don't you love that? This place was rocking. I'll tell you, if he stays on that, gonna be tough to beat. Joining me now, Katie Pavlich, editor at townhall.com, and Fox News contributor Jimmy Failla, host of Fox Across America on Fox Radio.
Great to be here.
Thank you.
Now, I just want to point out, we agreed to this because we were told there was a guest host. Okay, we'll go through with it, but I feel duped. I do feel a little duped, but I'm kidding. Great to see you, Larry.
We behave in the green room because you
Yeah.
put us on together,
You don't have to. You don't have to. But, you know, two things. Number one, the host kept talking about gotcha questions going back to the 2020 campaign and his court cases. If you notice, the voters who asked questions about substance, like the border and the economy and the Ukraine. Now, that one on drill, cutting taxes, deregulation, and economic growth, Katie, he stays on that message. I think he's almost impossible to beat him.
Well, and the cost issue affects everybody. And the underlying reason why things are more expensive is A, because the government spent too much money, but B, because we're not drilling here, because energy is the source of how everything that we buy comes to market, whether it's your food that has to be, taken with the tractor, we're using diesel fuel to get out of the ground, taken on a truck to the grocery store. That all means that you need oil to do those things. If oil is more expensive, then basic things at the grocery store also become more expensive. It's the basis of the economy and why everything's so expensive. For people who say that President Trump can't beat Joe Biden, that's absolutely not true. The Trump campaign will need a different strategy than they had in 2020, particularly in places like Pennsylvania, where they thought that they could just shoot the gap on Election Day with all the mail-in voting. But on this economic message, and especially the border message, when you're seeing what's happening with Title 42 and Border Patrol agents are saying that it's not just family units coming over, it's single adult military-aged males from North Africa, from the Middle East. People are afraid. Their costs are through the roof, and they're worried about the future of the country. And the president is clearly not afraid to say it how it is.
Jimmy, Russians are crossing the southern border. Next thing you know, they're going to be in front of our building on 6th Avenue.
The border has become like this generation's Woodstock. Like everyone's going. Like I was there, man. Like what night were you there, man? Everyone's going. Everyone's hanging out.
Did you know I was at Woodstock?
I don't doubt you were, but you'd be the only one I know who remembers anything about it. So you're in the lead there already. But it's embarrassing. She makes such a great point. Like, if Trump stays on message, he is actually unstoppable. If Barron Trump ran, he could beat Biden at this point. Because what was so illustrative from that town hall was the gap between what political pundits prioritize and what voters prioritize. Meaning he was getting applause breaks in the room for substantive takes.
Yes.
And they were apoplectic because they didn't like the way he treated the moderator. Here's the thing. If you're worried about getting mugged on the way to the bodega, or the bogada, as Jill Biden famously called it when she tried to bond with Latinos, like if you're worried about whether you can pay for goods and get them home safely, you really don't care if Trump cuts off Caitlin Collins on CNN. Right. But that's where they're out of touch with everybody else. Oh, it was funny. It was almost like she was running. That was not a town hall. It was a debate.
But she kept asking goofy gotcha questions about the past. The thing that was so interesting to me is that the quote voters and some independents and Republicans, their questions were terrific. There were some young women asking that young woman from St. Anselm's College, I believe, she has a terrific question. They want to know about the economy and the war and crime. Caitlin Collins had no interest in any of those substantive things.
Yeah, no, CNN was interested in re-upping the war that Trump has with CNN because they're desperate to get their ratings back, and therefore they need Trump. It's amazing how CNN was all for Trump being kicked off Twitter. They thought that he should never come back again, and yet they are here giving him a platform. And it's interesting to see the backlash as if Trump going on CNN is the reason he's going to get over the cliff here, right? Like, that's the reason he's going to win the election is because he went on CNN. I mean, it's good that he went, but it's not like there's enough people watching CNN that would put him over the top.
It's a brilliant point. This is why. Because they were, again, outraged. Like, how dare you allow this man to spread his message? I'm like, yo, CNN, he allowed you to get some message, to get some visibility, meaning they didn't have 3.5 million viewers laying around and they just happened to let him walk in and address them.
They'll never see it again.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So when they apologized the next night, I'm like, who are you apologizing to? Anybody who watched it is gone. They're not here.
Mark Simone said the normal ratings night for CNN is friends and family.
I mean, for as much as they complain about Trump attacking the media, they love when he attacks the media. You go back to those press conferences that he would have with the reporters in the White House with CNN, you know, fighting with the people with the microphone, trying to end the question, refusing to. I mean, they need him, and it's clear that they're trying to get him back because they also know that he could win.
He can win. You're right about that. If he stays on message.
Yes.
Yeah, well, they got to get him like a shock collar that they zap him if he gets off.
You know, many of his advisors have said that to him down through the last year or two. Anyway, Katie Pavlich and Jimmy Failla.
Glad we went through with this.
You're terrific. Thank